Hi, my name's Taylor Jansen, and I'm an elementary education with special education minor. I am currently living in Heston, Kansas, and I'm taking these summer courses in hopes of student teaching the fall of 2020, so hopefully I have one more year left. This is my second degree. I have a degree from Tabor College where I went to play basketball, and that is in graphic design and minor in painting, so I'm really hoping to incorporate all of my degrees into one. Um, so I'm going to start by talking a little bit about assistive technology. Assistive technology is just any tool or technology that makes life easier and increases the functional ability of people with disabilities. And these disabilities can be significant or they can be something minor. And the tools can be just something as little as a magnifier for a computer or something high-tech that allows the user to communicate with others in society. It's basically a tool that just enhances the quality of life. So my first tool I have is a reading focus card that I made out of a flash card. And this benefits a student who has difficulties focusing on text while reading. You can see here, the card just indicates one line at a time and gets rid of the remaining text so their eyes don't jump around the page. Another good way to create a card like this is to put a film of color in this line, and it will just draw the reader's attentions more to the line that they are focusing on. This device can be used at any time, but specifically when written instruction is presented to the student, such as an English language class period where they're required to read a lot, or if a math assignment is a handout worksheet with a little paragraph above on how to do the assignment. So the student is reading in class with the textbook or the handout. It can also be put on a computer screen or a tablet. However, these more high-tech devices often come with apps that perform a similar function on the screen for the student, so they don't have to hold anything, and they often read along with the student to help them comprehend better. My second low-tech device is highlighters. So it's a highlighter or highlighter tape or a post-it note. These three all kind of go together because they perform similar functions. The highlighter is really good because a student can break down the information that they're reading into smaller forms. So here I've given a few examples. So orange is straight vocabulary words for the students. So they know that everywhere they read, and no matter what class they're in, their orange is going to be their vocabulary words. So when they're studying for a test in English or studying for a social studies test, the student's going to understand that their orange highlighted words will be vocabulary that they will possibly see later. And then down towards the bottom of the page, I highlighted in pink, and these are different models that are used in mathematics. So it's a different strategy that the student will use. So if they are trying to perform an assignment and the teacher says, please create a linear measurement model for this fraction, the student will know, well, I can look through my text and look for the orange highlighter, and I will find quickly on what the linear measurement model is if they can't remember. So these low-tech devices can be used in any classroom and in any setting. The reason that I have given the option for highlighter tape is because some students have difficulties with their handwriting, and using a tape will place a straighter line on the page and just give a more crisp look. The post-it notes here, I have some smaller ones. These are for marking in books that do not belong to the student. So if they have a book from the library or they're loaning a book from the teacher, they can use these post-it notes that come in different colors and indicate on the page where they are needing to focus. They're often handy to jot down notes if a student is trying to study for a big test or collect information for a project as well. So The highlighter tape, and post-it notes are for students needing to break the text into smaller parts, making it easier for them to find later. My third low-tech example is a pencil grip. This is just one that I happen to have in my house here. Typically they're bigger, allowing the student to have more to grab onto. These are for students who struggle with hand formations and holding smaller objects, and it allows them to perform better handwriting and also just to hold the pencil more steady. So the environment would be anywhere the student is required to write. They can be used in a large variety of areas. Typically, it also will be provided with a lined paper. I believe the name is raised line paper, where there is 2 lines and then in the middle there are dotted lines, which allow the student to, so it would be a double lined paper here, and then in the middle of the page there are dotted lines which just indicate to the student the letter heights and formations, and it helps them to focus more on their specific handwriting and functions to really hone in on their skills. So these 3 tools are very simple and ones that I just personally had in my house, and they can be used for students who have higher disabilities or some that just need a little more help studying, such as the highlighter or the post-it notes. Personally, I use the highlighter in all of my studying. So thank you for listening to my presentation.